What is going on with Spider-Man fans? This is DHO2 Productions back with a brand new video. So we're going to be checking out this article by IGN. The Amazing Spider-Man 3 training as fans call for Andrew Garfield to star in the new movie. Now, I've seen Tyrone Madness's video on this topic, and I guess you're going to hear it from me as well. So let's hop on to it. Spider-Man fans want to see Andrew Garfield back as Peter Parker as the Amazing Spider-Man 3 trends on Twitter. It's no secret that Andrew Garfield's Amazing Spider-Man trilogy was cut short after the poor performances of the second installment, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Goofy editing, dodgy script, and a crazy take on an iconic villain Electro made it difficult for Sony to justify carrying on, ultimately resulting in the third film in a trilogy being cancelled. Now, my honest opinions on this situation, I think the reason why the second film cringed and it got scrapped was because Amy Pascal. A few days ago, I did a video on why she tried to stop Tom Holland and Zendaya from dating or being in a relationship during filming Spider-Man, MCU Spider-Man. And this is not the first time Amy Pascal has had a history of telling actors who to date and not to date. You already heard my cry on that video. You already heard my rant on this. So I'm going to speak on that issue once again. Just because they're acting in different films and TV shows doesn't mean you have the right to stop them from dating. If they choose to fall in love, let them do it. You don't have the right to tell them how to date and try to separate actors from one another. Like, that really needs to stop. I'm surprised people are not really talking about it on YouTube, but it seems like I'm the only one that's bringing it up. So I think that could be the reason why the Amazing Spider-Man 2 got scrapped was due to Amy Pascal being a producer. But now it looks like as though Spider-Man fans want Andrew Garfield back, as he should. Now, when Andrew Garfield and Tommy returned for Spider-Man No Way Home, which is a good film by the way, I highly recommend it. Go see it, y'all. It's incredible. It's really that good. Now, getting back to what I was saying before, Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man really left the impact, and it was the one that really had fans hyped the most. And before I saw the movies, I saw some spoilers on there, and the fans had a really positive, big pop reaction when they saw Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. And I was on the edge of my seat just watching it on the free movie app. And his Spider-Man has so much support, so I think it's safe to say that he should come back for Amazing Spider-Man 3. And not to mention, they pretty much just confirmed that they're going to be working on multiple Spider-Man movies with Tobey and Andrew. And I don't know what they're going to do with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, because Venom is already in the MCU. So unless they can just come up with a new Spider-Man villain from the Amazing Spider-Man comic for the Amazing Spider-Man 3 film, or they could just come up with a different villain for, according to comicbook.com, his recent appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home has sparked a wave of support for Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker. And which is true, I mentioned that before. Andrew Garfield stole many scenes of Spider-Man No Way Home, yes he did, with his trans comic and meta performance as Peter 3, said comicbook.com. After getting a reminder of everything that Andrew Garfield can be as Spider-Man, Marvel fans now want Sony to make the Amazing Spider-Man 3 actually happen. I mean, based on what we've seen from the internet a while back, it's already been confirmed that Sony has been very interested of bringing Andrew back for Amazing Spider-Man 3, because he has embraced the character Peter Parker, and his version of Peter Parker, it has emotions, it has the best reactions, and his acting performances as Peter Parker has been nothing but spot on. I fully support Andrew Garfield coming back as Amazing Spider-Man 3, and I hope it does happen. And with the outpouring of love on Twitter, it looks as though fans want to see the Amazing Spider-Man 3 movie after all, and I believe they should. Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, even though it was only 2 films. So I think he definitely needs a third film to complete that trilogy. Tobey already did his job, so I think Andrew Garfield needs to come back and do one more Amazing Spider-Man movie to complete his trilogy as well. So I think what they need to do is just find another villain. What people are actually saying, they're saying they want Andrew Garfield back as Amazing Spider-Man for the third sequel, and I for one want to see him in a third sequel as well, because he's an amazing Peter Parker. Even though the second film flopped thanks to Amy Pascal, but I think for the most part, him as Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy is a lot better, in my honest opinion, because of his acting. He has emotions, and he makes you care a lot about his character. The hashtag Make Amazing Spider-Man 3 is packed full of support for Andrew Garfield, and is relying cry to Sony and Marvel to finish off the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy. Spider-Man No Way Home stars Tom Holland as Peter Parker. Yeah, you already know about, the cast. As two alternate Peters from separate universes in the multiverse. Yeah, we've seen it in the film, so there's no surprise in there. Whether or not there's enough attention to make the Amazing Spider-Man 3 worth exploring, but with some fans comparing it to the Snyder's Cut, it could be only a matter of time before we see Andrew Garfield swinging back into our screens, especially after Spider-Man No Way Home snagged at 253 million opening weekend. Wow. Here's the thing with the No Way Home film. It made its money in the box office. It definitely proved to the world that when it comes to this, a great film, by the way, I think it's safe to say that it definitely left a bright future for Andrew Garfield or Tobey to finish off their trilogy, especially for Andrew, because I think he was the only character in the film that really stole the show for me, because I feel like his presence was very huge, in my honest opinion. So I'm glad that he was there, him and Tobey, to have an important plot, that they gave them something to do other than fan service. They actually did the old school Spider-Man some justice. Personally, they should just bring back Andrew Garfield as Amazing Spider-Man for the third sequel, because it's obvious to me that he's getting so much love on Twitter and so much support from fans all over the world, and he's the reason why the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy is loved. The first movie, it did good, even though it has its problems, but it did something that, some Spider-Man films couldn't do: follow the comics plot. And you know what? I've seen multiple documentaries on YouTube and the history of Spider-Man trilogies, Andrew Garfield trilogy, of how they compared it to how he was and losing his Uncle Ben and going through puberty as a teenager and going through a lot while dealing with Spider-Man issues. And they did most of that in the Amazing Spider-Man 1. And then in the second film, when he tried to save Gwen Stacy but they couldn't do it, that was from the Amazing Spider-Man comics from the 60s. And I'm glad that they went all the way back to the 60s and make sure that that plot sticks into the sequel. And I think they did most of the stuff right in the second film, and towards the end when Spider-Man was facing the rhinoceros monster. So I don't know what's going to happen in the Amazing Spider-Man 3, if it's actually confirmed by Sony that they're actually going to do it. Just know that whatever Andrew Garfield is fighting, I think for the most part his performances as Peter Parker will be the one to remember. So y'all enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below, and if you want the original article, down there as well. So I guess I'll swing my way out of here.